So before I explain how this method works, it's worth mentioning that this mainly is aimed towards the late mid to late game players because of the substantial amount of skill efficiency that is required for it to be efficient. And having the RAM companion is also required for this method to work. I recently learned about this way of leveling alchemy bubbles from some discussion in the Idleon Discord, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. With that said, let's get to how it works. The first step is to find a bubble in one of the cauldrons that requires a resource you can farm AFK with time candy. Right now, these are all the bubbles that fall under that category, except for the ones that need World 6 resources, since time candy is still disabled there until World 7 is released. Once you have chosen your alchemy bubble, head to the map where its resources can be gathered and pop a time candy. Hit claim to get all resources to drop on the ground. Pick everything up and stash it in your storage. After that, you can simply use the resources directly to level up your bubble from the quick ref menu. That's the basic idea, but there's a bit more to it. To make this method work more efficiently, you'll want to have as much resource capacity and skilling efficiency as possible, and also be aware of some mechanics that might slow you down if done incorrectly. But let's start with why resource capacity is so important and how to get as much of it as possible. So, when you use a piece of time candy and end up with billions or even trillions of resources on the ground, having a high resource capacity will save you so much time picking up and stashing everything. You will be thankful. There are a few ways to increase the amount of resources you can carry, with the first one being inventory space. Some inventory upgrades can easily be obtained from the different world vendors or from quests, while others are only obtainable through events or pay-to-win bundles. Currently, you're able to have up to 104 inventory slots on a single character with all the different inventory upgrades unlocked. Next we have one of, if not the most important source for resource capacity. I'm of course talking about stamps. These are the stamps you'll want to focus on, with the mason jar stamp giving all carry capacity, while the other 4 gives capacity for their own resource type respectively. To make these even more powerful, you can use exalted stamps obtained from the Windwalker elite class to multiply these stamps' capacity bonus. This makes a huge difference. Next, make sure you have the best resource bag crafted that you can and have the levels for. Activate these 3 star signs and equip a Silk Road nano ship to double their effects. Activate the Rucksack prayer and deactivate the Zerg Rushdown prayer if you have it active, as it will decrease your carry capacity instead. The AFK rate bonus you gain from having it active isn't worth the time you save by having it disabled with the increased capacity, trust me. You can also put 50 points in the telekinetic storage special talent if you have the points to spare. The capacity bonus is passive, so you do not have to activate it or anything. And if you for some reason haven't bought the carry capacity upgrades from the gem shop, now is the time. For skilling efficiency, you will first want to switch over to a skilling talent preset, then put on some skilling equipment, boosting foods, and a skilling card setup with the easy resources card set. You should also activate the skilled dimwit prayer, but as mentioned before, keep the Zerg Rushdown prayer turned off for the extra carry capacity. Some more quick improvements you can do for skilling efficiency include equipping the most fitting lab chips and obols that you have access to. Finally, make sure to activate any talents that might boost your gathering potential, like the Log on Logs talent, because it makes a huge difference for resource gains. Most works the same for all the different resource types, just make sure to use the best character for the job. With all the preparations out of the way, let's get to the active part. So make your way to the map with the resource you want to farm and start gathering. Try to find the longest or widest platform on the map and stand in the middle of it. This will spread the resources out and will prevent them from stacking unnecessarily, which sometimes lead to resources just being deleted for some reason. It also makes it easier to pick up the other drops that you don't need first. When using time candy, I suggest using multiple small ones at a time instead of the big ones, because resources tend to disappear if you gather too much from a single AFK session. 1, 2 or 4 hour candies usually gets you enough resources to use up all liquid anyway, if you have enough skilling efficiency. With the resources now on the ground, I always start by picking up the other drops first, to get a clear view of the resources that I want. You can filter these out to prevent them from dropping if you want to. Most of the time, you will end up with 2 stacks on the map containing the majority of the resources that you have gathered. To pick these up, gently drag over them to fill your inventory. Open the storage through the quick ref menu and deposit everything, then repeat. This is how I do it really fast on PC. Loot. Press C to open the codex. Click storage. Click deposit all, and then press C twice to close everything and repeat. Do this until everything's been picked up, and then you can start leveling your bubble. One thing that I learned the hard way is that you should always stop printing the resource that you're gathering with this method. This because when the printer does its thing, the stack in the storage chest gets updated, which then triggers the atom collider that turns resources past the max stack into atoms, including everything that you've picked up from the ground. So to avoid unnecessary work, just stop printing the resources you're gathering. Same thing will happen if you leave the map you're on or enter the gem shop, so don't do that either. But resources isn't the only thing needed to upgrade the bubbles. You also need different types of liquid. The way I usually do it is to gather resources to upgrade 3 different bubbles at a time, one in each of the first 3 liquid types. Then when all liquid has been used up, I hop on my arcane cultist and start active farming with cranium cooking until the liquids are full again. This is not a must, of course. You can do just 1 bubble at a time. Bubbles that requires ores or logs are definitely the fastest to level. Bugs are a bit slower, but works. Fish, on the other hand, is not really viable to gather in billions, not for me at least, but it's just a matter of time until everyone's fishing efficiency reaches new heights. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you're not already a subscriber, consider clicking that button as well to not miss any of my upcoming Idleon content. With that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.